G'day, welcome to another episode of Country Life on the Coast. My name is Sean, and in today's episode we're going to do some cable locating. It's always a good idea to know where any underground services run on your property. And I've done a cable location before to determine where our phone line comes in, and I've also done it to check where our water line comes in. Now the water main at our place must be an old copper one, so I was able to use the same cable locator that I'm going to use now to determine that, and I was able to find out where the phone line ran in before too. The problem is I did that ages ago and I didn't put it down on a piece of paper or a map to measure off the fence line or anything like that to know exactly where it is. And now I'm getting to the point where I need to dig a hole for a gate post actually to finish off our fencing, and I think I'm going to be very close to it, but because I'm not sure exactly where it is, well, we need to find that out so I don't hit it. So I'll show you what the process is to do this. I'll show you the equipment and we'll go from there. If you need to do a cable location at your own property, well, there are companies out there that specialize in doing this. I know someone that has this piece of equipment, so I've just borrowed it to do the little bit that I need to do. And I don't need it to be totally accurate because I'm not an expert with this piece of equipment, but I do know how to operate it, so we'll be fine. But yeah, if you're doing it at home, you need to make sure that you know where your services are. The equipment we have is this little box which transmits the signal. So depending on what you're looking for, and in this case what we're going to look for is tracing our phone cable, then this clamp on meter up here, it clips over the phone line and it induces a signal, and then this device here is the receiver. So you just walk along and it's looking for the signal that this one here induces into the cable. So we'll walk over and I'll just hook it onto our phone line. You can put it at either end, so you can connect it up at either your house end or at where your phone line comes into your house. I'm going to hook it up at the end where the phone line comes into our property. So we'll go over there now and do that. So typically what you'll find is that where your phone line comes into your property, it'll come through in a pit like this. And now from experience at this place, I know that our phone line actually runs down this conduit and heads off through and doesn't go through that pit. If it goes through the pit, well, someone will need a pit lifter to get in and again trace where your cable goes, or might be just as easy to go at your house side. So, but for what we can do, all we need to do is clip this on around this conduit without breaking anything. And all it needs to do is just make contact there, and that's all it needs to do. So what we'll do is turn this on and it will then start emitting a signal. And so we can see it has a frequency setting on it, and we can change the frequency if we're not picking up a good signal. So now if we turn this on, so that's 65k. It's not actually the same frequency as this one. So we need to change that up. So 65 kilohertz and 65 kilohertz. So now we can give this a go. So I'm mostly interested in where the cable runs down there, but because I'm going to put this on a plan now and have a future record of it, I'll start as we come into our property and just mark it a few spots along. Yeah, so I've got that future reference point, and then I can just measure off later off the fence line and put it on my plan. So what we do So what we do is just go from side to side, and we can see that and we can hear it. So what we're looking for is the highest intensity. We want to be just above the ground. So that's about the highest intensity we've seen. So we'll put a dot there and then continue on. So this is about the spot where I'm really concerned about, because just near here is where the fence post is going to go. So I'm just going to be really careful with this bit. I might increase that intensity. So you can see I'm sort of moving ahead without trying to pay attention behind me. Okay, that gives us a bit of a picture. So it's a little bit hard to see on camera, but the orange marks run up through there. So that's about, that's pretty close to where the line runs, which is what I need to know. So now I'll be able to measure off my fence post and check whether I'm going to have an issue with that or not. Hopefully we're not, because that will be really bad. So as mentioned earlier, you can pick up all different sorts of services. Like we just did, you can pick your phone line up. If you've got a metallic water line, so I believe ours is copper, I think I mentioned that earlier, I was able to attach it to that in a previous time and follow our water line in. I don't believe that that works if your line is plastic that they use in a lot of the time nowadays. I don't think that works then, so that might be a struggle. But you can also pick up your underground power cables as well. And I've got a cable running across here from the house to the shed. And I thought, while I have the tool, I'll pick this up as well and then put that on my plan, just so I've got a record of exactly where this runs through here. So what we'll do, we'll turn it on. And then what we need to do is find the power setting. There we go. So now it just works exactly the same principle as before, where the intensity increases when it finds power, and then there's no power over there. So somewhere in here is the power. So about there. So that now shows me my trench that sort of runs through here and into the house. So that's cool. I will be able to now record that on my plan. And it's as easy as that. So guys, that's what a cable locator is, and that's how one operates. Not a lot to it, but a very handy piece of equipment. Like I said, you really need to know where your services run. The last thing you want to do is dig a hole through your water main or your electricity. It costs a lot of money to get that stuff fixed. So hope you've enjoyed that and just a bit of a look at what's involved. But that's all we've got time for in this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you next time. God bless.